Today I'm going to talk to you as the CEO of Bubbler. My purpose in today's video is to share how we've gotten to where we are in our current online space and why it's so important that we fix it. It's strange to think that the internet as we know it was only invented 30 years ago. Anyone over the age of 30 today that wanted to know anything about anything as we grew up had to use encyclopedias, dictionaries, libraries, parents or grandparents. You get the picture. In these past 30 years, technology has evolved at a pace where we now expect information to be available to us immediately, when we need it, where we need it, and for free. The internet was never designed for commercial purposes. The current economic system that underpins today's internet has evolved by accident. The basic architecture of the World Wide Web was originally designed by Tim Berners-Lee in 1989, whilst he was working for CERN. In 1994, he launched the www Consortium, and the purpose of the consortium was to allow academics to publish their work openly and for other academics to then be able to find, read, and link to them. So it was originally created as a vehicle for sharing information for free. In the early days, there were only two groups using the internet. One was the content providers who published articles, and two was the consumers who could then search, find, and read the articles. While email had been around for some time, it was specific to individual systems and then connected via gateways. The World Wide Web relied on three key technologies coming together. One was generic email. The invention of www allowed generic connectivity. Two were the browsers. The concept of a browser was to create and enable users to view HTML web pages. And three, search engines. The first search engine created was Archie, and it searched FTP sites to create and index downloadable files. Eventually, it became apparent that the internet could be commercialized for business purposes. So a third group now came into play, and the concept of suppliers was introduced to the internet. Suppliers and content provider websites were originally just mixed together, and the only difference being that supplier websites were used to sell services rather than providing free content. The only way to find out about a supplier's website was from the metadata within the website itself. All you had to do was publish a website and the search engines would find it based on the words on the web page alone. So a build it and they will come philosophy came into effect. At the time, this crude solution worked and there was a rush of people to create websites for their businesses. Often a company's share value was inflated just because of the existence of an online presence. The dotcom boom was now upon us. The first market sector to exploit the commercial potential of the internet was, in fact, the adult entertainment business. They established all the early online marketing channels and economic models. These are CPM, cost per mile, which means cost per 1,000 views. CPC, cost per click, how many times was something clicked. And CPR, cost per result. This is how advertisers measure how much they spend divided by the results they received. They also built the first affiliate marketing platforms. The main aim of these models was to generate traffic and then convert that traffic into subscriptions. So you pay lots of money for ads, CPM and CPC. You get loads of traffic, followed by loads of signups, and in the end, you make loads of money. In essence, the ecosystem worked by providing free content with embedded ads that tempted users to purchase paid-for content. Cookies were used crudely to track user behavior to optimize the chance of users purchasing that content. So the adult entertainment business had developed a model to drive traffic through ads. A number of marketplaces existed within this industry to allow advertisers to buy traffic, which were effective and popular in that line of business at this time. Google's founders, Larry Page and Sergey Brin, were academics, and they wanted nothing more than to produce the best search engine following the Berners-Lee model. They had no intention of making lots of money, and by 2000, they had achieved just that, and Google was regarded as the most effective search engine. After the dot-com crash in the year 2000, Google was informed by its major shareholders that they now had to monetize their search engine. So on October 23, 2000, Google launched Google AdWords with a total of 350 advertisers. Using the cost per click model developed originally by the adult entertainment businesses now had to enter an auction to buy relevant keywords for their online traffic. This was a seminal event that revolutionized the potential value of internet-based technology firms. However, nobody planned this. There was no internet Moses who received tablets of stone with the rules of e-commerce written on them. This new model is based on large amounts of content still being free, but now end users' personal data and behavioral data is being tracked and recorded to drive targeted and unsolicited ads for goods and services. This model has never been challenged and is collectively assumed to be the only way that the internet works, but it doesn't have to be. Facebook did the same thing. Whilst their model is different, it does have a lot in common with Google. Advertisers still buy keywords. However, Facebook data can be used further to target specific audience demographics such as location, gender, age groups, etc. Advertisers are now buying a customer and not selling a product. Now, as this internet economic model became totally skewed towards the established parties within the ecosystem and those with the deepest pockets, our small businesses or SMEs have been effectively locked out, and they can't afford to use the internet for getting marketing leads. SEO also is no longer an option for them, and Google AdWords and Facebook ads are too expensive and very complex to figure out. And so with that, a new intermediate level participant has emerged. These intermediaries are those price comparison sites, like in travel, booking.com, Priceline, Trivago, etc., and portals such as Wikipedia. They're experts in Google AdWords, Facebook ads, and SEO, and these intermediaries buy all of the traffic from Google and Facebook at a high cost and then pass that cost down into the businesses by charging them that premium to join their clubs. As an example, booking.com charges businesses 30% of their booking fees and don't pay these businesses for 30 days. Additionally, these middlemen side with the customer when it comes to disputes, leaving little room for argument with their members who can then be cut off for these sites at a drop of a hat. Similarly, other advertising networks are also being locked out by Facebook and Google, who currently dominate the digital advertising market. Whilst Facebook and Google advertising revenues go up each year, everyone else is going down. 84% of Google's revenue is from advertising and 98% is the number for Facebook. Between them, they account for more than 60% of online ad revenues worldwide, as well as 90% of all digital ad market growth. So why does this matter? Well, in 2018, the news industry in the United States made an estimated $5.1 billion from digital advertising, a sum that was spread across scores of companies, resulting in newsrooms hemorrhaging jobs and small town papers shutting down at alarming rates. But one relatively recent arrival in the industry had a banner year. Google almost matched the industry's total digital ad revenue growth with $4.7 billion brought in through their search and Google News. In layman terms, Google and Facebook are both responsible for killing an industry so integral to our lives. Where once it was all about traffic, now it's all about user data. The value of the internet is driven by our data, which is then exploited and abused in so many ways. It's a model that tracks and monitors us and then uses our data and habits to try to optimize their advertising propositions for their advertisers, and also for dictating political perceptions for manipulations. To know more about political manipulations, take the time and watch the Netflix documentary, The Great Hack. As we've said before, this model has evolved by accident and it was not purposely designed to be this way. The commercial world took advantage of the model constructed by the adult entertainment business and then applied it in developing the current economic ecosystem that just isn't sustainable. It doesn't work for us as users, and people are waking up to that fact. It doesn't work for the content producers, with journalists and journalism suffering, which is resulting in many shuttering their doors or being consolidated into bigger firms. And it doesn't work for SMEs, since they can't afford to participate. The current model only works for two companies who are in control of the ad marketplace, and that is inequality in a nutshell. But there is no reason it has to work this way. Luckily, we know how to fix it, and that is where our ad-free marketplace comes in. We've designed and patented an alternative economic ecosystem. Bubbler is changing how the internet can work, and it has nothing to do with ads. I invite all of you to come and join us on this mission.